Hey everybody, and welcome to the Daycare Podcast. This is your host, Mr. Nipples and Nick. And
Hey.
Tonight we have Dan from Venting Vets on. Dan, would you like to tell us a little bit about Venting Vets?
It is an awesome social media platform for veterans. Need I say more?
No, you really don't.
Nope.
Some of the memes.
No,
The memes-
it is a free speech platform where it's aimed and designed to give free speech to veterans.
Yeah. I know you've got a few rules, and the few that you do have, I fully respect. So,
Yeah, no porn. I don't want to become Pornhub. I do not want to become the veteran Pornhub. That's part of it is it goes into my beliefs, and another, I just don't want to deal with that. So it's, it's kind of like, all right, so I always hear a lot of veterans bashing Facebook because of their rules on the First Amendment and stuff like that. And here's the reality. Facebook belongs to them.
Yep.
So unless we want, if we truly want something that embraces our voices and our ideals and our way of thinking, well, then we have to create that ourselves. We can't we can't force another business to adopt our way of thinking. We can't do that. So, and no matter if I agree or disagree with their business perspectives, it's completely irrelevant. The business completely belongs to them. So the only way that you attack it is by creating something yourself.
the thing is technically they're violating law because they're putting themselves as media, but they're acting as a publisher.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. But at the same time, it's all right. The one thing that I'll never agree with is, it's the way I see it is, all right, they don't want our way of thinking there. So what do? Do you stay or do you go? You have two choices. So it's you know damn well that they're not going to change their way of thinking.
Oh no, not anytime soon.
No. So if they're not going to change their way of thinking, why stay? Why not look for something that actually appreciates, a person's ideals, people, and also understands it. So when you're talking about, when we're talking about, like the humor behind, veterans and stuff like that, and how it's a lot of times it's misunderstood.
Yeah.
What other place is going to be able to see through see through it and see it for what it is than, a veteran himself.
Yeah.
I don't agree with what they're doing, but I understand.
I understand the rules as no child inappropriate children stuff.
Oh, of course, yeah, no
racism.
No, obviously,
and no porno. That's pretty much what I understand.
Yeah, and that's really it. And you'd be surprised how much I've had to remove from the site just because they can't follow 3 very, very, very simple rules.
Well, I don't know if you saw that one meme I put up, but that would have got me permabanned from Facebook.
No, I'm not that's not, and whether or not and it's never my goal to delete someone's meme or I'm not aiming for somebody to conform to my way of thinking. It's everybody has their own ways of thinking. Everybody has their own ideals. Everybody has their own. It's the word I'm looking for. Here we go. Everybody has their own personality.
Yes.
So it's not my goal to have somebody. I don't want 1 million people on my platform that think exactly the same way I do. I don't want that. I want a mixture of everybody, so then we can actually fucking talk to each other. That's it. I want to keep an open dialogue, and that's something I feel like is going away completely.
It is sadly.
There's no open dialogue.
I
had people that basically I went to school with, and it was basically back in high school. And they pretty much just refused to talk to me because of my politics. And I basically tried to explain to them how ridiculous that is. And
Yeah.
Their argument to that was you should judge people off their politics because that's the way they want to see the world. And I was like, that's not how any of this works. But all right.
All right. So the one thing I will say is like most people don't know my politics because they don't need to. It's unimportant. There's the reason why there's a drape at a voting booth.
Yes.
So, it's because it's personal. And, my politics are nobody's business but my own. So,
in fact, I think the only three politics that we've ever got into on this is the right to bear arms, freedom of speech, and Mr. Nipples and I both agree that medical marijuana needs to be made available for vets. Other than that, we try not to get into it. So,
and that's I don't smoke pot, but I mean I get it.
Yeah,
it's not it's not for me, but I don't really care. I'll be honest. I don't really care what a person decides to ingest in their own body.
well, the medical benefits are proven.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's
Well, that's neither here nor there for me. I mean, it's like I don't think that our bodies are being regulated by the government. So we're being told right out of the gate, like, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. I mean, what the hell can you do? We live in a supposed free country, and yet there's a law for just about everything.
Yep.
It's wild.
So we live in the best country in the world, and we're regulated from top to bottom.
As of 2014, you can't even collect rainwater anymore.
I mean, actually, in New York, like I live in New York, just in case you were wondering. The one thing that New York actually allows it, which is surprising, because New York doesn't fucking allow anything. They don't even let you. They don't even let you keep it.
Getting a legal weapon up there is like solving a puzzle.
Yeah, they don't even let you keep your own fucking money.
Yeah.
That's yeah. The goal is I want to move venting vets and everything else out of New York State before venting vets actually takes off, so I never have to pay a single penny to New York State. That's my goal.
That's very fair.
I do not if like let's say venting vets reaches 1 million users, which I truly believe that's possible. Venting vets reaches 1 million users, then I mean let's say that makes a couple $1 million a year. Well, New York State gets 8% before I touch it. 8%. And that's not even including the 40% or 35% rather that goes to the federal government.
Yeah. South Dakota has no income tax.
Neither does Tennessee. Tennessee is where I want to go.
Tennessee's warm.
I need to move to one of these states.
Where are you from?
I'm from North Carolina, but I live in Virginia now.
Oh, I hear Virginia is really, really turning. Like it's turning into more of a blue state than a red state.
It sadly is. It's pretty much just trying to put restrictions on everything and tax everything. And I think it's pretty ironic considering the flag has 6 Semper Tyrannis on it.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So, were you Army or Marines?
I was in the Army for 7 years.
Okay.
I deployed twice. Once to Iraq, the other to Afghanistan. By the way, I'm walking through my hotel lobby right now.
Okay. You got to play in both kitty boxes.
Oh yeah, that place both were fucking awful. I don't wish that on a.
Whereabouts were you in Iraq?
Oh, you might have to go see the person at the front desk. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I was at. All right. So in Iraq, I was at Cop Spiker, and Afghanistan, I was at Fob Ghazni.
Okay. What year were you in Iraq?
07, 09.
Okay. Yeah. See, that stuff wasn't there when I was there. So yeah, I got no idea what you're talking about. So when I was there, I lived in Area 51. That tells you something.
Yeah, I was in Iraq from 07, 09, January 07 December 07 to February 09.
So, yeah, we rolled in 03 and took over the Federal headquarters and then the Police National headquarters.
I was too young for that. I'm only 30 years old, so just in case you guys.
Well, you're still older than Mr. Nipples. Mr. Nipples got out of high school like 3 years ago.
Oh Jesus!
Hey,
no.
It's 4. I've been in for 4 years. Damn it.
He's a comms guy in the Navy. He made NCO in 4 years. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean.
No, not at all.
That's not bad at all. Not for the Navy, at least. I mean, in the Army, I was a sergeant by the time I was 20.
Yeah.
It's not as impressive.
No.
No, the Army is. It was really easy to get promoted in the Army.
Well, there's a running joke. I am the oldest PFC the Army's ever had. I got med boarded out, and they started my med board in 04, and they didn't finish it until 08, and I was still PFC. So
I can say that I got out in 2013, and fought the VA for a little while after getting out, and now it's nice, but dude, if there's one department of our government that needs like a complete overhaul, it's the VA. It's like I drive an hour and a half to see my PCP. That's too far.
I keep saying they need to shut down the VA hospitals. They need to turn it into something closer to Social Security. Let the vets go see private doctors and pay the vets.
No joke.
Yeah. So I agree 100%. I mean, it's inefficient, and there's no way having these giant VA facilities is more cost effective than just allowing somebody to pick their own doctor.
Especially when they estimate 20% of the budget disappears into bonuses and artwork.
Yeah, you're probably right, though. I mean,
well, like our local
big
VA
hospitals look pretty.
Our local VA, they had a choice to either build a parking ramp or extend the entryway. The director decided to extend the entryway and then gave himself a bonus. And you still can't find parking.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, the VA in Syracuse isn't much. I mean, it's not as bad as some, I guess, I've heard of. But man, like you go in there and it's just like it screams out inefficient. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you have an appointment for 11 o'clock and you're sitting in the waiting room until 12:10.
Yeah,
and that's. I mean, the VA is just it's one of those things where I don't understand why that it needs to exist outside of compensation, because everything else that they can do can be done far more efficiently by the private sector.
If they're going to keep the VA,
I feel about my whole government.
Yeah.
The only reason they need the VA open is to make it a very, very large psych ward, because the civilian sector does not have enough psych ward, does not have enough psych open. Make a very large psych ward. That way vets stop killing themselves in the VA parking lot.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest shit you can get. Oh, I'm sorry, we're full. We can't take you. So
that's, yeah. I mean, I don't get it.
Like, you don't got one physician that can talk to this dude for like 10 minutes, please. Hello.
Say again?
I said it's like, well, we don't have one physician that can go talk to this man for like 5 minutes. Like, please.
And that's the thing that like blows my mind. I mean, it's insulting to anybody who is. I mean, in general, the men are like as a country, and I'll expand outside of the veteran, outside of veterans, and say mental health as a whole throughout our entire country is being completely. It's not being treated as if it's as big as of a problem as it really is.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, there's 30,000 suicides per year in our country.
Yep. Now, that's only the actual suicides. That's not the people that go out and crash their cars on purpose. That's not the people that kill themselves by drinking. That's not the people that,
Yeah, confirmed suicides. No, that doesn't include the number of attempts and where the person survives. So it really is. It's sad that as a country that we don't treat mental health as like a legitimate issue. Yeah.
And a lot of people think that I'm crazy on this one, but I think a lot of the drug overdoses that they call, from these users should be included in the suicides.
Oh, absolutely. Pad the numbers. Like, do what you have to do to make it so people can actually get help. Pad the fucking numbers. Like, it doesn't matter if those are legitimate suicides or not. The reality is, no. The thing is if you're a politician, you're saying there's 60,000 people that are dying at their own hands per year compared to 30,000. I mean, people are reactionary off of numbers.
Yeah.
For some reason. So they react by numbers.
Let's be honest. If you're a junkie and you're using, you got some mental health issues going on.
Oh, absolutely. And there were some mistakes made along the way.
Yeah. And obviously if you're overdosing, either you got to the point where you have to use that much, or you're done. You just can't do it anymore, and you decide to end it. Either way.
Imagine if and this is like far out thinking that I was thinking about. Imagine if the United States just legalized all drugs. Just imagine, right? Well, you'd end up with products that won't be cut with fentanyl. It's because now the private sector is going to put out a pure, better product than what a fucking drug dealer will, and they're going to put out a product that was professionally, what's the word I'm looking for? Formulated. So it's not, so when you use whatever drug of choice that you decide, it's not going to just wipe you off the face of the earth. So, but the government likes to. They just want to make things illegal for the sake of making it illegal.
Let's say they did legalize things, right? Then the government would put so many restrictions on who would be allowed to manufacture and who would be allowed to sell.
Oh, absolutely.
So that they could make their money.
Oh, 100%. But it protects the consumer.
Yeah. But let's be honest. It's about the lobbyists. It's about the companies and the lobbyists. And
I mean, if you're a manufacturer of Percocet, are you going to be okay with just with legal heroin? Fuck no. Even though Percocet and heroin are so closely, when you, I mean, like they're both opiates. They're both the same fucking thing.
Well, you want to know something crazy? There's been a lot of studying lately about kids with ADHD, right? And ADD, and my daughter has ADHD. She's on a spectrum and she's got ADHD, and it's mind-boggling the way that shit interacts. But so they got her on Ritalin. Well, we have found out that the Ritalin does not work as well as coffee. We give her
Say
coffee.
again?
If we give my daughter coffee instead of Ritalin, it actually works better to help regulate what she needs regulated better than the fucking prescription Ritalin.
Oh, absolutely. I remember my brother has a few issues of his own, and he used to take Adderall, and he hated taking that shit. Well, anyways, I want to say I was probably 14 or 15 years old, and I was in a little adventurous phase of my life. And so I took one of them. Well, anyways, I tried to go to sleep that night. Well, needless to say, I was not sleeping. So what I did was, at the time, my mother and I, we were living in a motel, right? Because I had a real fucked up childhood. We were living in our motel, and so anyways, I get up. And it's like 11:30 at night. I'd been laying down in this bed for probably 4 fucking hours because I was like, man, this shit needs to wear out. So I start just cleaning the motel room. When I tell you, I cleaned that entire room, top to bottom. It was like 3:00 in the morning, and it was on a Sunday, and I had school the next morning. So I was like, oh man. Well, anyways, I ended up cutting school that next day. Yeah, I was like, I don't even think I woke up. I was like dead to rights. That if you don't have ADHD, don't take Adderall unless you plan on staying up for the next 2 days.
That shit's insane.
Yeah, it's really fucking bad for you. Like, it's bad. Like, I remember like feeling like my heart was gonna pound through my chest. I imagine that Adderall, when you don't have ADHD, is pretty close to cocaine.
Adderall, Ritalin. Ritalin's basically speed. Adderall,
Yeah, all
basically
that stuff's
coke.
pretty much speed and coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that's like, I've never done coke, but I imagine
Yeah,
that
you did. You did it when you were 14.
You did the legalized version.
But yeah, so I don't suggest doing it. Like, if I could give Adderall a Yelp review, it would.
I'm
You
sure there's a
probably
website
can.
for this.
Like, you fucked my night up. Like, I took it at like 8:30 at night, and I could not sleep until like 5:00 in the morning.
There is a Reddit page for this.
Is there?
Yeah.
There's somebody needs to really put a real review in there. Be like, listen, it's not just.
There's an entire subreddit about people talking about like the legalized drugs they've taken that have completely fucked up their world.
Four out of 10 didn't sleep for 2 days and had swimming all the time.
Ketamine from the vet, and
Terrible service. 410.
Awful. I do not.
Never got a drink refill.
So you guys are on your 26th episode.
Yep.
So what's your all right? So you guys asked me my question on venting vets. All right. So let me ask you, what is y'all's goal? Where do you guys plan on taking this?
Well, honestly, every episode, our whole thing is to give vets a voice. We've had one of the nuclear cleanup vets on, and he told us about how they were he watched guys walking around, no protective gear, picking up uranium, plutonium, putting it in buckets like it was crumpled up newspaper.
Right.
We have had Jose Belen, who is suing the Attorney General of the United States to get medical marijuana for veterans and for other people that need it. We have had, the authors of G.I. Lowe and Private Murphy on. We've had some authors. We've had We had a guy come on and talk about his fight with suicide and listening to his dad commit suicide on the phone. Our whole thing is to give guys a voice to come on and just tell their story, because too many stories are being lost as we get older and people die. And
it's insane. We live in the technological age where you could reach somebody in a second. I mean, and the reality is most, like, there are people that just fall through the cracks every single day.
yeah,
And like, I'll be honest, and there's been a few people, and I've been fortunate enough to talk to on Venting Vets, and you could tell that they're just, I've heard some of the stories, and it's sad. Yeah, I mean, like, I am not going to put somebody's story on blast, but some of the stories on the neglectful treatment, and the fare that they genuinely feel for the VA, and it really is. It's depressing to hear some of it, and it's not it's not fair to. Well, I don't want to say like to them, but it's not fair to anybody. It's not fair to the ones that I haven't been able to reach out to. It's not fair to the ones that I'll never be able to reach out to.
yeah,
and that's the reality is even if once Venting Vets takes off, there's no way for me to talk to everybody. There wouldn't be enough time today. But the reality is I would love to hear every single one of their stories. And now that's part of what Venting Vets is for me. Like, I went on a rant one day and I was talking about the 4 guys that we lost in Afghanistan, and it's and the one thing that I feel is like as a person who was there when they died, it's like I feel that it's my duty to continue to make sure that their name lives on.
We have a wall on our Facebook page, and I'm going to have to start it over on Venting Vets too. We have a memorial wall on our Facebook page, and just go on, add their names to the wall, and every year, the Wednesday before Memorial Day, every name on that list gets read on the air.
I like it. And because, dude, I am far from giving up with Venting Vets. Yeah, it slowed down. Facebook kind of fucked us up a little bit, and but it is what it is. It's the reality is and this is from a person who has been censored by that website. It's their business. It is a business that belongs to them. It's the same logic goes to when I remember hearing way back when the Christian baker that refused to bake the cake for the gay marriage.
Yep.
I remember saying, well, if he didn't like it, he could have gone to a different business. I feel the exact same way with Facebook. If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
I agree with you, but again, under the law, technically, no one's going to step in because they're making too much money. But
well, no one. I hate to. Here's where, like, yeah, they're a publicly traded company, so ultimately the investors decide what happens, right? So, if Facebook fucks up enough, the investors, their large investors, will pull their money and their stocks will plummet. That's generally what happens. But I hate to say it, but their investors agree with what they're doing, so nobody's pulling their money. If anything, Facebook stock has actually done better over the last year or so.
But what I'm talking about is federal law says that as media, they cannot be censoring the way they are. Only a publisher can do that.
I mean, look at it this way. Look at CNN. I know. The way I see it is much like CNN, we have our alternatives with Fox News. We have our alternatives with, so while I may not agree with their choices to shut down a certain individual, a certain side's voice, but that certain side still has the option to look elsewhere.
We caught a 30-day shadow ban on Facebook because I asked if people would wear a T-shirt or if they would only wear it if they'd buy our T-shirt, or if they would, if people would buy a T-shirt, right? I put up one of those you know what I'm talking about, survey things.
Right.
And one said no, and the other one said yes, only if it has nipples. And we caught a 30-day ban because I used the word nipple in the survey.
Did you appeal it?
Yeah, I appealed it. They said that it violated community standards.
Oh, there's a dude. Like I've worked on Facebook for a real. I've made a fair amount of money off of Facebook, and which I don't know if you know this or not, but Facebook, like running blogs and running media sites, is kind of what led me towards venting vets. I used to run a page on Facebook named Guff4. I don't know if either one of you have a computer in front of you, but you can check it out. But there's like 700. I used to run that page, and we had about 710,000 followers. Oof. The one thing that I learned was just follow the rules. That's it. It sucks. It sucks when you feel like you have to conform to a certain way of thinking.
But who would ever think?
If you're like knowing that Facebook is blatantly against your way of thinking, why would anybody truly want to stay?
True. Well, we stay there for two reasons. One, it gives us the most outreach to what we have right now to pick up.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And the thing is Facebook right now at its worst, if you just follow their rules, you can still make a ton of money off of them.
Yeah. And two, because we like poking the bear.
You see, but that right there, I mean, you can't get mad when they swat you back and you're swatting at them. You know what I mean?
No. It's a double-edged sword. When we poke, we're right at the edge. We make sure that we toe that line. But who would ever know that the word nipple would get you a 30-day shadow ban?
No, there's no way to know that. Listen, I posted a meme one time that was just, and I was actually making fun of my own wife. And I just made this meme just for fun. And so I was literally making fun of my own wife. And I caught a 3-day ban from my own wife.
Well, the Navy spouse guy just caught a 30-day ban for making fun of himself.
You see what I mean? Like, it's like nobody's safe. No, nobody's safe.
I run a meme page as well called Patriot Wave. I'm honestly shocked I haven't been banned. I'm honestly absolutely shocked.
You see something? Well, how many followers do you have on there? Just out of curiosity.
Let me check real quick. 8,391.
That's why. That's the reason why. Like once you hit like 50 to 60,000, that's when your reach goes up. That's when you're going to start catching some of the bullshit. And at 50 or 60,000, it feels like it comes on real slow, but it picks up. It does.
We're at 103,000, and we have gotten so much crap since then.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like 60,000 seems to be so far every page, because I used to feed other little pages off of mine, and I'm going to tell you, once those pages hit like 60,000, that's when they started getting.
I may have completely just misspoke. I apologize.
You did.
Yep, it's at 103,000 or 1,000. God dang it! What's the?
1,000.
Help me out, Nichols.
10,000.
I'm having a hard time here. Help me out, Nipples.
It's just 1,003, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, I may see. Yeah, I've had a long day.
Can't numbers.
I can't. I did 27 miles today. So
do either one of you talk to Chappie over there at Disgruntled?
Talk to who?
Nope.
Chappie over there at Disgruntled.
Chappie.
That he works with Disgruntled Vets, owns Disgruntled Vets. Sorry, I'm not.
I've talked to him a few times, but No, I talk to Dwayne and a few of the other guys more often.
Yeah, I talk to Chappie more often, well, than anybody. He's a really, really good guy, and he definitely has his intentions are always pure, even though Facebook keeps fucking with him.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you have 500 and something thousand followers, though.
Yeah,
it's bullshit, but that's the nature of the beast.
Oh, Dwayne's over at Army Fuck Ups. That's why I'm.
Oh, okay. So you guys talk to like Nacho and
Yeah. We've got a whole little coalition. The smaller veterans pages, we've got a whole group going on.
Nice.
So
and the thing is it's good to establish a network. So then if one page goes down, you have a bunch of other pages to pick you up.
Well, we all have backup pages. So when our main page goes down, we use our backup pages.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. Like, I've been, I got away from, playing around on Facebook about, I want to say about 7 months ago now. I sold Jeff 4 for a pretty penny and used the money to create Venting Vets, and no regrets. I may never see that money ever again, but at least I tried.
Well, if you ever have an ad or anything you want right on the air, we're willing to read ads, and
it's no big deal. Like, listen, here soon, because I have a couple jobs coming up here soon. I'm dumping all of my money into advertising, so that'll that'll drive some traffic to us.
Well, I'm just saying, we're free. We're free.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm talking probably. I haven't tried advertising through Google AdSense yet, but I imagine that they're going to tell me to go fuck myself.
Oh, of course they are.
Yeah, because all veteran social media platforms cannot exist.
I actually tried that, and they told me that they do not support. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. No, but this is it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. It really has. I would love to come on again, though. I mean, just to talk to you guys about whatever you guys want to talk about.
Before you take off, we have a tradition.
What's up?
You got to share an embarrassing story from your time in, whether it be your story or something that you witnessed.
Oh,
you got to.
All right, so I was at 91 Lima in the Army, which is a mechanic. And anyways, I was a cherry mechanic, never even touched a generator ever in my life. Right. So never I was not a generator mechanic while I was in the Army. I was a construction equipment repairer. So I didn't even know what the fuck a generator looked like. So anyways, I grabbed a 5-gallon Jesus Christ. I grabbed a 5-gallon jug of diesel because my NCO asked me to fill up to add fuel to the generator. So I grabbed the jug, walk it over, and I'm like, la 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 la. So I lift up the little tab at the top of the generator, thinking, oh, that's where the fuel goes. Didn't even pay any mind that there was no cap on it. I was just like, oh, somebody must have lost the cap. There's a fucking idiot.
Shit.
So I lift up the tab and I start pouring fuel in, right? Well, I don't know if you guys know what exactly that thing at the top of
the...
It was the exhaust. It's exhausted.
Oh.
So I go to my NCO. I'm like, yeah, I filled it up, Sergeant. And he goes to fire it up. And he's like, hey, how come this still says empty? And I'm like, I don't know, Sergeant. It must be broken. He's like, where'd you add the fuel? I was like, right in here. I pointed at the exhaust port. And he was like, get in the front lane and rest now. I was like, sorry, I had never touched a generator before. You sent the wrong guy for this mission. Well, anyways, I had to learn how to disassemble the exhaust system, right? So I had to learn how to disassemble the exhaust system to empty the fuel out of it.
Quite the learning experience.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, no, I mean, Iraq wasn't that bad, right? Like if I have to compare my two deployments, Afghanistan was significantly worse than Iraq. But when I'm telling you, it was June and it's hot as balls in the middle of the day in Iraq, and I am disassembling the exhaust to our generator because I put fuel in it.
Oh, I know the heat. It's
that was probably the most embarrassing thing I'd ever done. Like, and literally even afterwards, I was like, sorry, I fucked up.
Hey, did you ever hear about the guy that shut down an entire battalion by faking the swine flu?
No, that's funny though.
Yeah, we had him on the show a few weeks ago.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that's the best embarrassing story we've had thus far.
Oh, it was
definitely was wild.
He couldn't really be that mad at me because I was kind of always a guy that I would always just do whatever he asked me to do. So
yeah, you're a good troop.
Sorry about that. My phone started ringing. But yeah, so like he wasn't like furious mad, but he was definitely like, all right, so he messaged me on Facebook probably about 3 months ago talking about it. So it's one of those things never
still remembers.
Yeah.
All right. Before we sign off, anything you want to add to the safety briefing?
Don't beat your dogs.
That's a good one. I like it.
That is. I like that. I like that one.
Yeah. Don't litter, kids.
Don't text and drive. Don't drink and drive.
Don't drive and text.
Don't eat gas station sushi.
Oh shit, that's a good one.
That's
Don't eat tacos out of the back of somebody's van.
Don't buy steaks out of a car.
Don't take pizza from a stranger.
Don't let a prostitute wrap you in saran wrap and shit on your chest.
If somebody offers you candy, take it.
Free candy always leads to a good time.
And
if you don't have ADHD, don't take Adderall.
There you go. And as always, reach out and talk to somebody. Just saying hi to somebody can change your day.
All right, gentlemen. It was a pleasure talking to you guys.
Likewise.
All right.
Bye.